This makes a beautiful holiday soup that you can enjoy through the 12 days of Christmas and the rest of the year too. And let me just show you the beautiful surprise we've got. When you go down to the bottom and you pull out, you're going to have a beautiful piece of poached egg. Lovely, isn't it? I'm chopping up the last of some button mushrooms that I have here. These are called champignons de Paris in France. They're just plain old white button mushrooms. You don't need anything fancy for this. The flavors are going to be the same, and so just use the least expensive mushroom you can find. All right, those are chopped up now, so we'll just put this into a saucepan. I'm going to add chicken stock. Now we need to think a little bit about viscosity, and it's easier to use less liquid and then add more, but if you start with too much liquid, you're never going to get this thick. So we're going to use just a minimum of chicken stock. This is a very rich homemade one, and it has lots. It had a mirepoix and it has some white wine, so there's lots of flavoring in it. And to that, I'm going to add just a pinch of coriander. That is from Joël Robuchon's recipe. And there was no salt added to any of the stock, so we'll just finish with a little bit of fleur de sel. That needs to go on the burner, and then I'll cook it until it's tender and put it in a blender. I wanted to point out a few tricks here with the mushrooms. First of all, of course, you just put your cooked mushrooms into a blender. The recipe that Robuchon used calls for crème fraîche, and I thought I had some, but then I didn't. So you can, of course, substitute a little heavy cream. And the other thing you can do is just add a touch of buttermilk to that, because it's the same thing. That's how you make your homemade crème fraîche when you let that set at room temperature for 2 days. So we don't have that luxury, so we'll just do this. And if you wanted to make this vegan, you would have used a vegetable stock, a homemade good vegetable stock, and you would put coconut cream in it, and then we would do the same thing. So we're going to liquefy this. For the spinach part of the sauce, we just have some well-washed fresh spinach. You could actually use frozen, it won't make a bit of difference. And I'm going to put just a touch of nutmeg in that, very little, and another pinch of fleur de sel, and also a minimum of stock, because spinach has lots of water in it, so that's just enough to get it going. And we'll cook that down, and it also gets blended. It is now time to present the soup, and you want to get a nice little soup bowl like this one here. It's rather small, and the surprise is a poached egg that goes right there. It's lightly poached. And then you want to take your 2 soups and you try to pour basically at the same time. There you have it. And to decorate, I have a few French chanterelle mushrooms. They're actually girolles in French, but here we call them chanterelle. And there you have it.